I'm Lisa Coronado, and I'm playing Hazel Hatcher. When I got the first set of sides for the first audition, I instantly connected with the material. As an actor, you try not to want a part too bad, because with a disappointment, I'm not getting it, but this one I wanted so bad. And then when I got into the audition, I had on heels, and the casting director asked me, well, how tall are you? And I said, you know what, without my heels, I'm 5'2". And pretty embarrassed, you know, because I hate being short. And she was like, that's perfect for this role, take your shoes off. And made me audition without my shoes. And I was like, pretty liberating, it felt really great. And so then when I went back to the callback, I wore flats. When I read the book that she was very short, at that point I was like, okay, this is the first time my height is working for me. So I'm just pretty lucky and blessed to have been able to play Hazel Hatcher. At the same time, I got to live up to this woman, and how fascinating and phenomenal she was, and there is a little bit of extra pressure, and yeah, it's a little scary because, you know, you're playing somebody that's real and trying to do it justice. I don't know how she did it, you know, and her husband was working so hard and she was trying to do schooling, and so one of the things about her is that she's musical and that she can play the piano, and I can completely relate to that. I have a piano in the downstairs of my house as well, and when I need a break I go down and I start playing it, which was another weird coincidence. I love any kind of period film. I'm drawn to those kind of films. So when I found out it was in the 60s, that excited me. And then when I got the sides, I think it was a particular set where I'm trying to cook dinner and deal with Lyle and the dog and all this stuff going on at once. And it was just such a real family moment that I've experienced myself. And the way it was done was, written so funny. I connected on that level as being a mom and, you know, trying to run a household. I'm lucky as an actor that I get two directors that also wrote the material, so that they're very familiar with it. They have a very strong vision. It's interesting because their approaches are very different. Lyle's really wants to recreate the way that it was, and it's fascinating, all of the details, everything that he puts into it. And then Dawn comes in from a little bit more bird's eye, I guess, of it really wanting to move the audience in a certain way. It was really fascinating because one of them wanted me to cry and one of them didn't. And so I didn't cry, and then Dawn came up to me and said, okay, it's okay, I want you to cry on these 2 takes. And so I did, and then on the 3rd take, Lyle comes over and he goes, I don't want you to cry, you gotta hold it in, hold it in, hold it in to the very end. And when, you know, Braden's out of your eyesight, you can let it out. And I was like, okay, and so going through that, I needed what Dawn gave me to get to the point where Lyle wanted me to go. So it was this really cool blending of directing where it got me exactly where they both needed me to be. So it's been fascinating, and I've never had directors that have had so much information for me, and it's just, it's awesome. It's one of the best scripts I've read in a really, really long time. It's very full and rich and complete. It ends beautifully. It's so genuine, and I don't think a film like this has come out in a long time. It's been a while. Just this coming of age of 2 kids, and told in such a way that's really inspiring, and that parents and kids can like it. You know, I can share it with my family, which is fantastic. Not all my films I can. And every character I fell in love with, every single one. And you know, when I was picked to audition for Mrs. Hatcher, you could have said audition for any of these women and I would have jumped, because they were so well written. It's a beautiful film. I'm really excited to see it finished. I can't wait.